Welcome back to Saxthorpe Farms. And I said last time I was going to push the beef, so I ended up buying, I think, 88 beef cattle, and you can see after the month they've gone up in value pretty significantly. Money's gone down a bit from loan payments and stuff like that, but we got those all sold, brought fresh, and went from 16 grand in the bank to 90 grand in the bank, and we've got another round of that to do, so we should make another 80 odd thousand pounds, I think. So to help with making money, so I think it's about 80 odd thousand pounds that we made out of doing that, and we'll do it again, and that will pay for most of the cedar that I want to buy, which is pretty cool. We are going to have to massively cut back after that, because by the end of March I've used pretty much all of the feed. You'll see later on we are pretty low on feed, but we have 3 fertilizing contracts to run through. I did actually try and grab the weeding contract in the end, because I remembered that we do have a weeder, and it's big, so it would have been quick, but it had gone by then. So yeah, I'm going to run these 3 contracts. The reason I want to make money off of these is I want to buy a slurry spreader so that we can use up slurry. The slurry tank's pretty much full, and also save some money on fertilizer down the road. And that's, we're putting a lot of feed into these beef cattle, and making use of their outputs is pretty key for making money off of them. So apart from the fact that we're only keeping them for a short amount of time, and that does help drive their profitability. So yeah, it's working so far. I haven't run the numbers of if I just sold the feed versus putting it through the cattle, but I'm having fun, and something I spoke about before, part of playing games is having fun. So yeah, doesn't always have to be min-maxing things. So yeah, 3 fert contracts done. We're going to be looking to buy some fields in April as well, probably some grass or a grass field. So yeah, we've got about 39,000 off of those contracts, and the slurry tank that I want to get is this one. I've not used it before. It's 45 grand. The Lizard Slurry Barrel 20. I'm going to get it in Deutz green because, it'll match then. Originally when I looked at this, I thought it was just a tanker, but you can see it's got the pipe coming back off of the vacuum pump, and it does have a 16 meter working width as well. So pretty cool. I forgot to refuel on the way to the store to pick it up, so we've pulled into the petrol station to top up. I assume buying it at the petrol station is the same as us paying to refill our bulk tank. It might be a bit more, but I didn't want to have to go back into the farm on the way through. So yeah, quick stop at the petrol station, and then we'll go pick up the slurry tank, get it back up to the cow farm, get it filled up, and then get down to field 20. It's quite a lot of driving in this, apart from what you didn't see, which was probably an hour in real time, maybe more actually, of driving backwards and forwards between the farm and the animal dealer to buy and sell all those beefs. So at the beginning of April, I'm going to sell off all of them, and I'm only going to buy back I think we were running 32 before. I think that's what I got up to. It was either 24 or 32, so we're going to buy back up to about that kind of point, and we'll just go back to that nice easy cycle then. And again, we are pretty short of food, so one of the jobs I want to do next video is as I've mentioned a few times, we've got the 2 small cow pastures out behind the farm. I'm going to sell the 2 placeables in there, plough that in, plant it with grass, and then I've got a custom placeable that I've made to put over the top to replace that, so that we can graze the cows. That's the plan. I need to finish setting that pasture up so that it doesn't wipe out the grass when I put it down. Otherwise, that would be a tad annoying. But there will be a way. There will be a way. I had the one that Hilly Farms made for me for Attingham worked like that. You put it down and it laid everything over. It didn't replace all of the stuff on the ground. So field 20 is getting corn, which needs about 120 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. And it's not great soil, so it is going to be at that lower end. So I'm going to add enough to get us most of the way there, and then probably when I seed, I'll do the rest of it. So yeah, we're going to go for, I think I went for 70 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, yeah. So we'll run this. Hopefully it's going to use up most of the slurry. I kind of want to clear out as much as possible because we have too much. When we have a grass field soon, we can use it on that, and once we've got that grazing pasture in, the beef cattle will go out to that, and that will hopefully, I could put the dairy cows out there for now because they're not producing milk, so that will hopefully reduce the feed burden a bit, and which is going to save some time, which is a bit of an issue. That I wouldn't be doing this continuously because it does take a lot of the day just buying and selling. So yeah, wouldn't be doing that normally, but if I can get those out to graze until they're more mature, it's going to make it even lower maintenance. And that was one of the really nice things until I added animals on here, is if I wanted to skip a month, I could just skip it, and now I can't. So, and particularly having the extra beef cow on the farm, I'm getting through a lot of feed. I think I was doing 3 mixes a day. So that's 20, 36, 46, 54,000 litres of food a day. And they were eating all of that pretty much through the whole day. So yeah, it was a bit of work. It was a bit of work, but I enjoy working with animals, so it wasn't really a problem. We do have the field in front of us, which I need to decide whether I'm going to herbicide it or whether I'm going to take the hit on the environmental score for the increased yield. I need to go back and check that tutorial and make a call on which one I want to do. What I might try and do is sneak into the field with See and Spray and see if I can get a little bit of the environmental score without taking too much of a yield hit. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. It might not make that much difference given we own quite a bit of land now, and that's only going to increase. So once we've got more established food sources, I might do a little bit more beef routinely than we're doing now, particularly if I do pick up a bigger trailer. You know, if I can get a trailer that holds 30, I think the bigger ones hold 30, maybe 60 cows, then yeah, we could maybe be doing about 60 head of beef a month. And that would make us about 60 grand a month, which would be nice. So, yeah. If at the end of this cycle we've got silage left, I might sell that. I might end up getting a BGA on here. If we're going to be doing beef, it would probably be sensible. We could either put the mini BGA in up at the cow farm, although I am using that on Valley, the old farm, or we could do what I think Cartec did, and we could buy the dairy on here. I think he did it on here. Maybe he did it on Court Farms. He's done it on one of his saves. Buy the BGA on here, not dairy. Buy the BGA, and then swap the BGA that's there for the industrial BGA, because it's the same footprint. It's the same model, I think. So it would just be a swap of that, and that's an option as well. I might go that route this time rather than placing down the mini BGA, and I've only used the industrial BGA the once, so yeah, I think it's the same model. I think it's the same model because it's a Giants model, because I don't do 3D modelling, so yeah. That's probably a better option, I think. Yeah, we're making decent progress, and pretty much getting it to where it needs to be. Some of it is a little higher, but that should be okay. Should be okay. So it's going to save us a ton on solid fur when we get around to it. I don't know if I show it in the sales. There was a Deutz 92 something. I don't remember which. I think it was a 9290, and it was very tempting. It was 100 grand. But it had 30 hours on it, so it's going to be expensive to repair, and we need a seeder, not another tractor. So, but it was just amazing how many it's throwing at me. I don't know actually. Maybe the algorithm for what gets picked is biased towards kit that you have, brands that you have. I don't know. Certainly not throwing me kit that I needed. I need a windrower. It did put up a windrower, but it was one that I didn't particularly want. It was very big. So yeah, I was tempted for a moment, but decided not to. I thought I would get something more sensible besides, because we're probably going to end up with a smaller grass field to start off with. Probably down near the main farm, because that's where all the grass pastures are. I don't think there are any at the top of the map. I did ponder, I think I've said, about just buying a field and planting it for grass, and I might still do that. But ultimately we need to end up owning all of the pastures anyway, so it's not that big of a faff to drive the bales up the map, assuming we bale it and we don't clamp it. So I've got Courseplay and auto drive running in both fields now. Well, Courseplay running with the mulcher that you can see on the bottom of the screen, and then Courseplay and auto drive applying slurry to field 19. That didn't need much because it's getting sunflowers. So sunflowers only need about 60 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. There was already 20 in the field. So yeah, I think I was adding about 35. The nice thing with that is it means the little bit of slurry that we had left was going to go a lot further. While that was happening, I spent some time sorting the cows out. So doing some bedding at the moment. I was also mixing some feed. You can see the AgroStar is still running from me doing that. I think actually it's sat in the alley because I left it emptying into the feed trough. I do like a placeable that lets you put bales in. A lot of farmers still do that, I think. I mean, although the Pembertons have got the bale shredder, but I think in some of their enclosures they still will, when they're doing fresh, they will just open up whole bales. So I like that. It's one less bit of kit to buy as well. So, yeah, just finishing up in field 19 now. Well, not finishing the field, finishing the slurry that we have. So this last tank was about 18,000 litres that we picked up. I took over the driving for a bit because I was just watching at this point. I thought I'd do something. So, and it got dark. So yeah. I think next game day we will be sorting out the cow pasture. So get that ready for. I think that way we'll be able to turn the cows out in May at least. If I'd have been a bit more organised, we could have maybe done that earlier, but I wasn't. So I should have probably done it in autumn, to be honest. I wasn't thinking about it back then. So yeah. Wasn't thinking about it back then. Yeah, I thought I'd do a bit of in-cab work. I was kind of looking at the, like the in-cab monitors and stuff, wondering what it would be like to play without the HUD on. So I've been watching some of VF's Fairhead series. Actually, it's a really pretty map. I've been setting some stuff up on there as well, and this may not come out right. His roleplay stuff is not too roleplay for me, so I enjoy it. So I've been watching that, been enjoying it. And he does everything in cab, and that's got me really intrigued, particularly with all the new setup and stuff. So yeah, I was looking, kind of in these modern tractors, is there enough on the display? And I think probably you'd want sim dashboard for a modern tractor. You know, with like all the GPS and stuff. So I don't actually know if you can pull out, you know, like above the tachometer is the settings for VCA. I don't know if you can pull that out and bring that in to sim dashboard. I know you can set controls for running VCA in sim dashboard, but I'm more interested in the information rather than the controls. I have things to do the controls for it. What I need is the, you know, what heading is it set on? Has it got the working width right? That kind of thing. So, and I guess the other way to deal with that would be either to flash the HUD up briefly or to go into the VCA menu. I don't think you can see the heading that's set in that. Yeah. I don't know. It's something I was pondering as I was watching other people play Farm Sim. So it is such a nice map. Yeah, I've been watching Kartek's videos on there and him struggling with the fences. No hedges to drive through on that one. And VS one. So I was having a look around it yesterday. There's a lot more to that map than I thought. There's a lot of farms on there. And it's just really pretty. So, you know, I've used a lot of Fast Farming's mods, you know, like the Red Rock trailer and stuff, but really nice map. I don't know if it's their first one. I think it's the only one they have on Mod Hub at the moment. Not sure on that. Don't hold me to it. But yeah, you can see we are down to 2 bales of grass silage, and that means I'm down to putting in pretty much the minimum amount into a mix. So they get about 2,000 litres of grass in a mix. And then I have been putting some straw in. You can see there's straw in here to and the sorghum to kind of balance it out a little bit, I guess. Yeah, and we've got plenty of straw, so we may as well make use of it. It's probably pretty low energy in terms of food value, but hey, it works in game. So. And here I've brought many trailer loads of maize silage up because that's been the bulk of the feed. So in a day we're probably feeding a lorry full of maize silage. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Just going to have a quick check of the sales. Do love the Riggy track, but don't really have a use for it. Not really anything that kind of jumps out on here particularly. There's a set of mowers there that would be useful if I didn't have any, or lots of mowers. But yeah, that manure spreader was kind of tempting, but we're not really producing enough manure. We could only fill that 3 times after a winter of being pretty heavily into the beef. So there you go. You can see the cows. They'll be worth a bit more next month. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this. If you did, click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions, thoughts about the way ahead, stick them below, and I will see you next time.